Good morning, students. Welcome to our class, Biological Science. Dear students, we have already started our lesson, Diversity in Living Organisms. Different types of lives that are present in this universe. We have already started and we discussed two sections about the monocots, dicots, and the basis of the seed leaves it have. We have divided the two into monocots and dicots. After that, we discussed about the classification of animals. The origin of species written by the Charles Darwin in the year 1859, and also the classification of organisms. Okay, so John Whittaker, okay, Thomas Whittaker, we discussed that one. Now we are going to discuss about the plant, the classification of plants. The classification of microorganisms over Monera, Protista and fungi we completed in the last class. Now we are going to about the classification of plants. Classifying plants. Dear students, we all know very well different types of plants are present around us. In the beginning, on the basis of the seed leaves we have divided the plants into two types. What is that? Monocot and dicot. In this section, we are going to learn more deeply about the classification or the diversity that present in the plants, the differences that present in the plants. Okay, plants are diverse in nature. That means they are different in nature. The basis of classifying them on the type of mode of acquiring food. How the plants are classified. Mode of acquiring food. Acquiring food. Okay. And the way of acquiring food, and also the type of reproductive system it have. Type of reproductive system. Type of reproductive system it have, and the mode of reproduce, and the type of reproduction. We all know very well the plants are multicellular, eukaryotic, and they have the cell membrane. What are those? They are multicellular, eukaryotic, and cell wall. They have cell wall. So this is the main difference, or this is the main differentiation between the plants and animals. Only the plant cells have this cell wall. The animal cells do not have the cell wall. Okay. So the plants are multicellular, eukaryotic, and cell wall. And another important differentiation that present in the plants is they are autotrophs. Most of the plants are autotrophs. They have the chlorophyll. Okay, now by using the photosynthesis, it produces food. It can perform photosynthesis. Do you understand this? So the most of the plants are autotrophs. They have the chlorophyll and produce the food substances in the process of photosynthesis. The first level of classification is done among the plants on the basis of the well differentiated parts it has. Do you understand that? The first level of classification is done among the plants because of the well differentiated parts. Well differentiated parts. Okay, and the first level of classification is done among the plants on the basis of the well differentiated parts or differences that they have. Okay, so in the second level of classification is done among the plants on the basis of the differentiated parts. They have the particular tissues called vascular tissues. whether the plant has vascular tissue or not. We all know very well the vascular tissue is conductive tissue which contains the xylem and phloem. Xylem is responsible for transportation of water and phloem is responsible for transportation of food. Okay, the first level of classification is done among the plants on the basis of the well-differentiated parts that present in the plant. The second level of classification is done among the plants by that differentiated parts must contain this vascular tissue which contains the xylem and phloem, responsible for transportation of water and food. The third level of classification is done among the plants on the basis of the capability of bearing the seeds. Bear the seeds. Whether the seeds are enclosed or not. Do you understand that? Having the seeds or not. So on the basis of these three, the plants are classified into different types of groups. Do you understand that? The plants are classified on the basis of mode of acquiring food and the type of reproductive system it have and the type it reproduce. So the plants are multicellular, eukaryotic and cell-walled. That is the unique nature that present in the plants. So plants are generally autotrophs. We know very well. Most of the plants are autotrophs. Okay, now they have the chlorophyll. By performing the photosynthesis, it can prepare the food. Okay, so the first level of classification is done among the plants on the well-differentiated parts. The second level of classification is done among the plants by the vascular tissue, whether it contains the vascular tissue or not. The third level of classification is done among the plants on the basis of the capability of having the seed. Do you understand this? So these all are some of the reasons. Now I am going to explain about the more things about this classifying of seeds. For example, have you ever observed the mosses, gaddimal grass? Have you ever observed that mosses that grow on the blackish velvet rocks, blackish velvet on the blackish velvet walls? Blackish velvet walls in the rainy seasons. So take that greenish parts and observe with the hand lens. You may notice that some dot-like structures. For example, the mosses appears like this to us. Okay. So the mosses are appearing like this to us, and grass pachi gaddi మీద ఉన్నటువంటి ఆ పైన పూలాగా ఉంటాయి. So the structures are not exactly flowers, but the structures contain the seed-like structures in them called spores. What are present in these? These are not exactly flowers. These flowers are kaadu. These are not exactly flowers, but these structures contain the seed-like structures called spores. The spores contains less amount of food, while the fruit contains seed contain a lot of food. Do you understand? The spore contains small amount of food, but the seed contain a lot of food. Okay, come to here. So the seeds are present. We all know very well. Seed is present in the ovule of a flowering plant. Ovule of a flowering plant. That means ovary. Okay, na? In the ovary of the ovule. That means ovary or ovule. Seed is present in the ovule of a flower. For example, it's a flower. The seed is present here. Number of seeds will be there. The seed is present here. But the spores are present in the sporangium. Do you understand this? Okay, na? The seed is present in the ovule of the ovary and the spores are present in the sporangium. So these are sporangium. Okay, the spores are present in it. So when these spores are released, enter into the air. When they fall on the ground by getting the favorable conditions, it grow independently. You understand that? Okay, now come to the point. So the spores are present in the sporangium. You can see these type of spores in the fernal leaves, cycons, fernal leaf. Okay, now. So in that plants also we will see this one. See in your textbook, the fernal leaf is there. So the dot-like structures that present under the leaf on the back side of the leaf, in the clusters of dot-like structures are called sporangia. Sporangium. It contains the spores. Okay. So these ferns or cycas or mosses are non-flowering plants. They are produced by the formation of spores. So these non-flowering plants are called cryptogams. What are those? Cryptogams. So these are non-flowering plants. NF I am saying here, NF. Non-flowering plants are cryptogams. At the same time, some of the plants can produce the flowers. For example, mango, neem. Okay, neem. Okay, so that type of leaves are called, the type of plants are called, flowering plants are called phanerogams. Phanerogams. In the phanerogams also, whether the seed is present inside the fruit, that is angiosperm. If the seed is present, pine, for example pine, outside, the seed is placed to the nacdi, that is gymnosperm. Okay, so I will explain more briefly about it. About the plants we are discussing here. Plants, non-flowering plants. Non-flowering. Here, flowering plants. So, non-flowering plants are called cryptogams. These are called phanerogams. Okay? So again, these cryptogams are divided into two types. Bryophyta, Pteridophyta. Here also two types. Gymnosperms, angiosperms. Gymnosperms, angiosperms. Gymnosperms means seed nacdi. Seed to the nacdi. Vittanam paine kanapadutundi. Here the seed is inside the fruit. Here also two types. Monocot, dicot. Okay. So dear students, this is about classification of plants. Okay. The plants are classified into non-flowering plants, cryptogams, flowering plants, phanerogams. Again, the non-flowering plants are divided into bryophyta and pteridophyta. Here, gymnosperms and angiosperms. That means the seed appears to the nacdi. The seed is present outside of the fruit. Here, the seed is present inside the fruit. Monocot and dicot. Okay? In the next class, we will see remaining classification of organisms. Thank you.